When we left off, we met up with Gemini's original owners and then made our way to explore the nautical town of Port Townsend. We are picking up anchor at Port Townsend, headed to Lopez Island. Hopefully gonna make it to Fisherman's Bay, which is where we're gonna get married later on this summer. So we're gonna go check out the venue, anchor out there for a couple days, and then we'll head into Canada. Just two bald eagles hanging out on the channel marker. Alright, that is Lopez Island to starboard. And we are going through a little bit of a currenty section here as we are going into the San Juan Channel. That is, over there is San Juan Island. And you can see the water is a little mixed up and confused here. We're still getting used to this whole current thing. We made it to the entrance of Fisherman's Bay just in time for high tide, which is fortunate since the entrance can be a bit shallow for our deeper draft. We are approaching Island Marine Center just ahead of us. Then just after that we will pass Lopez Islander Resort, which is where we're getting married. Can't wait to go up and check it out, see the venue, and meet the lovely ladies we've been talking on the phone with and everything. Quite a few boats here. There's a lot of mooring balls, but you can also just anchor wherever you want. Just as we had hoped, Lopez Islander Resort was beautiful, quiet, and unpretentious. The perfect place to tie the knot. Alright, so that's the pool and jacuzzi. And then there's the hotel rooms, and I think this is like the little apartment rooms. And then over here is some camping area. Lopez Island is known for its friendly locals, passionate farmers, and surprising amount of wild bunnies that hop around happily on this picturesque little island. Just like a family of bunnies. Oh, tails. That guy's coming back to defend the family. Well, we just got a nice little soak in the hot tub at the Lopez Islander Resort. Talked to a really nice couple that was here on their little Ranger tug. And now we're gonna head back to the boats. We've got a beautiful sunset tonight. After 2 nights in Fisherman's Bay, we are picking up anchor and we are heading to the north end of the island. We are going to find a new anchorage for the next night and see what we can find in the area. We want to do a little bit of clamming, so we're going to see if we can find a spot that's near a good clamming beach. So we just left Fisherman's Bay and there's like a whole building being transported on a barge, and it looks like maybe they're waiting for high tide to take it just over there. We saw a whole like party of people hanging out right in this open lot with like hard hats and a bunch of machinery and stuff, so we figured that's probably what's going on. This is the west side of Lopez Island. Beautiful little houses right on the water. Tell us what that's from and what just happened.
The bolt that holds on one of the exhaust riser brackets broke off at the engine block, and I only had half of a thread to grab onto with my vice grips, and I grabbed it and it came out without a hassle. But I think it was because I took out all my tools ahead of time and got ready.
Thinking it was going to be a huge project. Alright, well, I would say day 2 of trying to dig for clams was a success. Moral of the story is make friends with someone with a bigger shovel, because our little tiny trowel was not doing the job. And they gave us pointers as to how deep in to go and where to dig for them. But it's beautiful here, and we made friends with a couple that was on the beach, and they've got a house right up here on the hill. And they were really friendly and lent us their shovel. And they're growing oysters right on the beach here. Pretty cool. And yeah, pretty awesome to meet some of the local Lopez, what do they call them? Lopesians. They were really friendly, like everyone else we've met on the island. Alright, this is our sunset view from our anchorage at Odland Park. Beautiful. So quiet and still. Well, the time has come to pick up anchor at Odland State Park up on the north end of Lopez Island, and we are headed to Deer Harbor tonight. It's on Orcas Island, and we're pretty much just doing like another little hop to be a little bit closer to Sydney, which is the border city where we're going to check into Canada on Saturday. All right, we are in between the Wasp Islands, and just ahead of us is Orcas Island, and more importantly, Deer Harbor. It's right off yonder, and that's where we're headed tonight. It's a little nerve-wracking, but there's ferry boats just going in between all these islands, so I think we're just not used to it. Once settled into our anchorage at Deer Harbor, we hopped in the dinghy to check out the marina, and Fathom was eager to come along for the ride. Alright, well, we are going to make a clam chowder with the clams that we dug up this morning. So we've got a nice sized bowl of clams that we dug up off the north side of Lopez Island. So we're going to steam them and make a delicious clam chowder. Alright, we are picking up anchor at Deer Harbor. We spent the night here. It was beautiful and calm. But it is time to move on to our next destination. We will be back to the San Juan soon, but we want to head into Canada and start our adventure north up into Desolation Sound and the Broughton's. So we are headed to our last San Juan anchorage for this beginning of the trip. We're going to head to Stewart Island to, I think it's called Reed Harbor. Once anchored, we set off on a mission to stretch our legs on shore and explore the beauty around us, especially since the rain had let up for a few days. We could have easily spent weeks bouncing around the San Juans, But we had the goal of circumnavigating Vancouver Island, and in order to accomplish that in time for our wedding on July 8th, we had to get a move on and make our way into Canadian waters. Goodbye, Reed Harbor on Stewart Island. You were probably my favorite anchorage yet. Really beautiful, pretty desolate and quiet, and a nice little loop of a hike that we went on. But we are off to check into Canada. So we have an appointment at around noon, and it's going to be about 2 hours to get there. So we are leaving now. It's 10 a.m. almost on the dot, and we will hopefully, fingers crossed, be able to check into Canada. It's kind of nerve-wracking. We've never done a border crossing on our own boat before. Goodbye, Reed Harbor. Foggy morning, sprinkling a tiny bit.
Sydney Custom Stock, this is sailing vessel Gemini, over.
Go ahead, Cat.
Good morning. We are about half a mile out from your break wall and have a arrived can appointment for noon. Over.
Yeah, we're most wide open.
Alright, great. See you soon. Over and out. Over and out, or just stand by?
I think it's just over, standing by 16.
Yeah. Over and out!
I don't think people actually say that.
I do.
You do. The paperwork prep to enter Canada was pretty straightforward. Just download the ArriveCan app, make a profile for each traveler detailing personal information and proof of COVID vaccine. We also entered general boat information including vessel name, hailing port, and documentation number. When we arrived at the customs dock in Sydney, we rang the officer at the phone booth. They asked for our ArriveCan confirmation number, and voila, we were in Canada.
We're in Canada. Check
Yay.
in. No
What'd
bullshit.
they say?
They just asked for the numbers and the ArriveCan schedule thing, and asked if I had any bombs or tobacco. And
Did they ask about the pet?
nope.
Kitty!
Didn't ask about any food. Do you know how to hum the Canadian anthem?
We are Canadians! Yes, we are Canadians! No, I don't, obviously.
There we go.
Join us next time as we explore the quaint town of Sydney, our first stop in Canadian waters. We are headed to Sydney Spit to see if we can catch some crab tonight. Yay! Then we set off for the Gulf Islands and set the hook in the most stunning anchorage so far. Thanks for watching, and thanks to our patrons for keeping this boat afloat. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Until next time!